I'm standing here with the one and only Tom Burke of Burke Reptiles, and you know what, Tom? The last time we spoke to you, we were in your facility, very popular video, but now we're here in Daytona, and I want you to show us the prosperity of what you produced over this past season, because I'm seeing some really nice IMG albino sunglows.
Well, the IMGs are new for me. This is the first year I'm producing any IMG morphs or anything.
Increasing melanistic gene, which increases the production of melanin.
Correct. And when they're born, they're not anything like what they look like as adults. I mean, they are dark. I'll take out some and I'll show you.
Show us like a regular babyish IMG when it's like born, you know, a younger one.
This is an IMG head anery that's shed twice. And
it's already darkened up.
It's already darkened up. There's a few others that have only shed once, and you can see the huge difference. You know, the blackness coming in on the sides, the black speckling coming in on the top, the dorsal pattern, the head. You know, it's got that, I don't know, I call it devil lines, but right. I don't know.
And this snake will be completely black probably within 6 months.
No, it took like 6 months to a year, and it's not completely black. They'll be like on the anery, the IMG aneries that I have. It's a gray, racing stripes. You know, like little dashes of gray. The face, that white, that marking in the face will turn gray.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, they're.
I have an IMG aneuphoristic head albino that's jet black completely.
Yeah.
Just underneath its mouth, it's white.
Yeah. No, some of them, like the head albinos I have, are jet black.
Yeah.
But the two male anery IMGs I have, I mean, they're jet black, but they do have, like, their face is gray, like I said, and some of these stripes are gray, but basically jet black.
Now the interesting thing again.
Well, I was going to say, what I really love, like, we say black, and it's not a normal black. It's a iridescent, like I call it Boland's python. If anybody's seen a Boland's python, it's that kind of black.
It's got like a rainbow in it almost of color. I have it in mind.
It's not a regular black. It's black to me would be boring. This is exciting.
It's like the iridophores just light up on this.
Exactly. It's, you know, I'm not a fan. Anybody who knows me for more than a week and a half knows I'm not a fan of black snakes. Give me a red snake all day long, every day, all day, for the next 50 years, I'm a happy camper. But the IMG, the iridescence in the IMG just is undescribable to me, and it is exciting. It is. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't get excited about much anymore.
Now, the excitement is putting these into the albino gene. And a lot of people would say, why would you put a black snake into a snake that doesn't have any black pigment? But we do that because it enhances the reds. And we talked about this the last time.
See, you know, and again, I'm new to it. I have seen pictures. You know, people have said, you know, send me pictures of an adult IMG Sunglow. I haven't gotten there yet. But I have seen pictures of other adult IMG Sunglows, and I can tell you that they're impressive. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't impressed.
Let's see.
And well, besides the red color, because I think that can vary, I see a lot of purplish, like the white, what would come in as melanin on a normal, in the Sunglow version comes up like a lavenderish-y, grayish, purplish. It's hard to describe.
So where the white would be on
in the body of the snake,
you're going to get purple, and where the red is, it gets redder.
Yeah, but like I said, I think that the red is variable, just like a Sunglow. I mean, some people's Sunglows have more red than others, so I think the red is going to be variable. But the black turning into a lavenderish, it's not even I can't describe it. It's just a cool.
Let's look at it, because you got some beauties.
Well, yeah, these are babies.
So yeah, well, they're still. You could tell a big difference, and we can compare, because you have a Sunglow over there. I see. We can compare to it. You want me to hold him? I'll hold him. You got him? All right. Tom's an expert. He's been doing this for a couple of years. Show us this IMG Sunglow, and how could you tell this is an IMG Sunglow?
Well,
Tell the people
my
out there.
problem is not picking out the IMG. That's not the problem. The problem is the IMG brings the, like I don't know, a lot of people maybe don't understand how to tell the difference between an albino and a Sunglow.
Tell us.
In a hypo, the best hypos do not have any black on their tail pattern forward of the vent or the cloaca. There'll be a little bit of black anterior or aft, or I'm on a boat again, but behind the cloaca. So on a Sunglow, you're going to see, like, I'll have to show you an albino, but you're going to see these white markings that you can, I don't know if you can see them. You see how it's white? Yeah.
Those little white dashes?
Yeah, but on the side of the pattern. Now you wouldn't see that in a normal Sunglow, and that's my confusion, I guess you want to call it. They say that on the IMG it carries it up, and I can show you a Hypo IMG head albino, and it does carry forward, different from like a Hypo head albino or normal Hypo. So this is this by people who know said this is a Sunglow, but I'm going to show you what they said.
Let me hold this one. You pull out a regular Sunglow. Do you have a regular Sunglow?
I have a regular Sunglow.
What about that one right there?
Oh yeah, well that's actually got blood, but
pull it out just so we can just show people the difference, Tom, because I think that it's important that people can see the difference, because there is a dramatic difference, and you can't really see it until you compare the two of them. All right, so that's a Sunglow. Why is that a Sunglow?
You see, like, again, past or to the back of the vent, you see the color around the tail saddles, and this is actually a really good Sunglow, so there's not really a lot. You see by my finger, you see that ring around the saddle, and then it doesn't have that same ring around the rest of the saddle.
That's how you can tell that it's a Sunglow?
That's how you can tell it's a Sunglow.
And what color would you call that? That's surrounding that saddle.
Well, you're really being hard, Dave. What color would I call it clear, but it's not really clear.
No.
But some people confuse what I'm talking about, the clear, with the white.
That's why I want you to clarify
Well, that's not, again, if you can see it, it's actually clear. Let me pull the other, maybe the other one has a better example.
It almost looks purplish to me. I don't know if I might be colorblind a little bit.
Maybe a light purplish, but it's basically, like, this is even better. But you see, like, if you can see that little, these are two really good Sunglows.
Right here.
Yes. And then you don't see that forward of the vent.
So that tells you it's a Sunglow.
That tells me it's a Sunglow.
And it's not just a regular albino.
It's not an albino for sure.
Right.
Yes.
That's how you can differentiate between. And the Sunglow is just added hypogene. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Now let's compare this to this. And now people can see the difference between the IMG Sunglow and a regular Sunglow. Show us what you see right away.
Well, you mean to identify an IMG?
Yes, versus a regular Sunglow.
All right. Look at their heads, and not the color. There's a regular Sunglow head.
Right.
And there's an IMG Sunglow head.
I'll hold this one.
All right. This is an IMG Sunglow. I mean, you can see the difference. I tried to explain it in Facebook, and to be honest,
I see pinkish. I see reds in there.
It's the markings, the cross. They see the cross connecting the eyes.
Yeah.
The mark all the way to the nose, but that you see that line in the speckling coming in.
Yes.
That's the IMG coming in.
That's what would normally be black, but in this snake, it's
going to be red, and eventually in the body will turn that lavenderishy color.
Beautiful.
And again, I don't have adults at this point, so I can't show you any. I can't give you pictures, but I have seen them, and I like them.
And what are these going for, Tom, here?
The Sunglows are $5,000. The albino IMGs are $3,500.
Okay. I think they're gorgeous snakes. Obviously,
let's put them in the right box.
Yeah, let's put them in there so that we don't sell them for the wrong price, right? Where do you see this project going with the IMG? I think this year, last time, you probably wouldn't have even had an inkling, but do you have like something in your mind now creeping up and saying to yourself, hey, I think I want to go here with this project?
Some things just have to, like, I don't want to say
Albino Leopard IMG?
I don't want to say it's top security, but everybody should use their imagination in this business. You can go so many different directions.
Albino Leopard IMG?
So many different directions. There's no limit. I mean, like I always say, like, people people will say to me, like a Sunglow Leopard, why does a visual double recessive Sunglow Leopard, what's the value? You know, and I try to explain to them the value is because there's not many of them, and then it also allows you to go in a bunch of different directions. So let's just say a Sunglow Leopard, let's say you wanted a Sunglow Motley Leopard Albino. So you breed a Sunglow blood to a Sunglow Leopard, you automatically have all Sunglows, 100% het leopard, 100% het blood, and half of them will be Motleys. So I mean, it's not, you know, you have it makes things quicker, it makes the production of the end result faster, and therefore it has more value.
Has this reinvigorated your boa natural instincts? Because you look like you would get a little bored for a while.
I'm going to tell you the IMGs, and we're going to see a little later VPI IMGs, but to me, I love these, and I love the IMG het albinos and the Hypo IMG het albinos. I love them all. But what really did it for me this year is the VPI IMGs.
Let me see. Showing.
Let me put this guy away.
VPI being the caramel or T-positive albino. This is it. I actually saw a litter of these being born at Pete Call's actually about 2 years ago, and I knew they were going to be hot.
This, I'm sorry, just does it for me. The adults are, you know, like the IMGs are black. These are a blackish milk chocolate as adults with a gold pattern. The pattern comes in like gold hashtags or markings. And I mean, it's one of those snakes that, you know, I love blood albinos too, but I found myself looking at the adult IMG VPIs more than I did the blood albinos.
Wow,
so,
and you're the blood albino guy.
And I like red. You know, Pete Call will tell you, I know him for a long, long time. He still makes fun of me because I said 30 years ago I wanted a red boa,
right.
And that's what I'm doing. And he still makes fun. He said, "Oh, you're almost there."
All right, Tom, show me these Hypo Leopards, because these Hypo Leopards you got here look like bloods. I don't even know how you produce such a red snake with just Hypo and Leopard. Explain to us.
I would like to tell you how. Except somebody once told me being lucky is better than being good. I mean, I always felt when I got into the leopards, I spoke to Hans Winter in 2001, 2002, you know, and I bought leopards direct from Hans Winter in Germany when he was here at the show in Daytona. And I always said to him, Hans, I said, every time I look at these leopards, I see red, and I can show you one over there. It's just a lot of red under the black. And he laughed at me, actually, and I said, you know, are you going to...
You're the red snake guy, that's
well, I could see the red, and I said, you know, I'm going to breed him into albinos. I said, or Sunglows. And he laughed. He said, you do it. He said, because I'm not. I said, okay.
And he didn't.
And he didn't. And I said, that's fine with me. And when you remove the black that's in a normal leopard boa, you get this. This is the underlying leopard boa.
This is the super Hypo?
This one I think is a super Hypo.
It has to be. It's so red.
Well, there's redder ones. I think it's probably a super Hypo because of the reduced pattern. That's what happens when you breed. You know, the supers lose more and more pattern.
Is this the Sonoran Hypo, or is this the orange tail Hypo?
No, this is actually the Salmon Hypo.
Okay.
The Hypo came from, originally I bred leopard to Sunglows. So I did we talked about it, but I did 4 different years. So I had a diverse group of hets, so I wasn't breeding brother to sister and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So, but this is...
Gorgeous snake, wow.
Yep. No, this is... I'll show you a redder one, but...
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the albino in that.
I also want to show you the SIMG, what I think is an SIMG, but I mean, here's like redder ones, like these.
These have more pattern, though.
These have more pattern, but I think are actually redder than the one I just showed you. So,
amazing. Yeah, that's a nice looking snake too.
And this is another one. You know, the sides are just...
And everyone looks different. They're not the same. The
Exactly.
leopard, it's like no two are ever the same.
Exactly. And then here's like a leopard sunglow. Like here's a good example. This is one leopard sunglow. Of course, the bad part about these cages is...
I'll get them.
Okay. Here's one leopard sunglow. It's got that pattern. Here's another leopard sunglow.
Completely different.
Completely different pattern. They're both leopard sunglows, but they're 2 different types of leopards. This year I'm lucky enough to have males for sale, which usually I have so few.
Usually a female heavy?
Oh yeah, yeah. And the males usually have been in such demand that I can't keep them. I never really have males for this show. So this is the first year in all my 5 years of producing.
That's a
leopard
gorgeous
sunglows.
one too. There's like no pattern on it.
That's a female. That I actually think might be a stars and stripes, but I you know, because it doesn't have a pattern, but it has a sunglowy stripe, I call it. This is a female, and she's about to shed, so of course they never work out. But you see, it's kind of like a.
I like that
almost
look.
like an eclipse type.
It's almost solid.
Dot, yeah, yeah. But, and then I want to show you an IMG, or an SIMG as Hans calls them.
SIMG is being Sonoran increasing
Sonoran
melanistic
IMG,
gene.
yes.
Yeah, which they get darker as they go. Do you think that this gene is isolatable?
Well, that's the reason. Hans thought about it for a long time. He spent 10 years proving it and removing it, and only this year discussed that he did isolate it. But if you look at the black, how black it is.
Was it that black when it was born?
Yeah. It's only
getting darker
these
though?
have only shed once.
Oh, okay.
So, but look at how black compared to say some of the others.
You think this snake will get completely black?
I don't know yet. I don't think it would be just like a Hypo IMG. Will not be completely black,
But it'll be
much more blacker.
I
Yes.
like that snake. That is a
Yeah.
cool looking animal.
And there's another one. You know, I have a few. I mean, these are all.
I would change this to your cover picture on Facebook. That's a wacky looking snake.
Yeah, if somebody shows me how to do that.
Tom pretends he doesn't know anything about computers, but he really does.
Bad. No, I don't. I can turn on my computer, and even that's a struggle. But
that you think has also got the SIMG?
I do, yeah. I mean, you know, they're not. For me, they're not. I don't know enough about them, so I wouldn't say that they are or they're not.
Right.
I tell people that this might be in it, and I also want to show you. Everybody loves. I have a crazy Hypo Leopard.
Okay.
That everybody goes crazy for but I want to show you what it looked like as a baby.
That's a weird looking snake.
Well, this is a Hypo Leopard. This is the Hypo Leopard that everybody goes crazy for, that as it grows, that cream will get bigger and bigger and bigger.
No, that doesn't look anything like the other Hypo Leopards.
No.
There's no red in
No.
it. Or, I mean, no blotchy, big
No,
patches of
but
red.
have you ever seen, you've probably seen it, you just don't recognize it. I mean, I have a picture on my phone I could show you, but everybody goes crazy for it. It's an adult Hypo Leopard that has just this crazy, all the cream gets brighter and brighter. So it almost looks like a paradox.
Yeah, I was saying, what would you call this? Is it a paradox, or do you think it's
don't-
just another patterned weird leopard?
I'm not smart enough to know, but
Would you keep this back and breed it?
well, I already have some.
Or you have more like this. How do they look as adults?
Well, let me show you. I don't know if you can see it on film, but I don't know. We're wasting valuable film here.
we're.
But
I just like anything different, and I think that you have such a variety of different leopard stuff. Hey, look at that. Maybe we can zoom in on that.
I've posted that guy on Facebook.
If you put that up, I wouldn't know what that was.
Actually, Slav, I think, posted it somewhere too.
I wouldn't know what it was.
Well, that was confusion. I mean, that's the same. This is gonna look
It looks like
that.
it's got jungle in it almost.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't mess with the jungles. I have too much that run through, like even my Sunglows. Every year I'll have some Sunglows that would be awesome jungles, but there's no way they could possibly be jungles. So I'm afraid, myself personally, so I love the way they look. They're awesome animals. I just don't want to make a mistake.
You're doing some awesome stuff here, Tom. I'm so impressed, and I know people are going to want to get in touch with you and buy these snakes from you. If they're not here in Daytona, they can check out your Facebook page. I know you're always available to answer questions. And what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Phone, because I try to go on Facebook or the computer as little as possible. So I'm always, if I don't answer, you leave a message.
What's your number?
I'll call you back. 631-786-0202. And it's on the Facebook. It's on my Burke Reptiles Facebook page. And I do have master societies. I can ship internationally and do. I can ship anywhere in the U.S. Overnight. So if you can't make the show, I will be at Tinley in October and March. If you can't make any of these shows, I do ship.
The red snake guy,
And
Tom
black
Burke,
now.
and black now.